Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I wanted to take you inside today because I have been, as I told you last time, I've been working on lots of other different projects inside as well. So I wanted to show you really quick what I've been working on, and then I was thinking to just come outside. I have a couple of plants that I have to plant, and then I have a couple of things that I wanted to show you in the garden. I planted new plant, which is really beautiful, and but I went ahead and planted because it was going to be really hot last week, and so I didn't want it to sit and wait for my video, and I just wanted to make sure it goes into the ground because it was going to get really scorching hot. So anyway, today is a really beautiful day. It's probably about 70 degrees today, and it's going to be really pleasant to be outside doing a couple of things. So let's go in, and I'll show you everything I've been working on here. Let's see, I'll turn on a light, hopefully. So this is our hallway. So this is our hallway here. And remember when last time I was telling you guys I have been painting all our French doors? These are all the French doors. I just last night did my last touch-ups and just did little, scrapings on the edges to make sure everything, all the extra little things came out. So now what I need to do is basically just go ahead and clean out the glass. I haven't even touched the glass yet. I have been really busy lately trying to get all the painting done. But this is our great room, and I thought you guys might really enjoy seeing all this beautiful trim work in this house. And so you probably will know why we really fell in love with this home when we were moving from Colorado to France. So you can come here with me. So this room is not really organized. As I said, I've been really working on lots of different projects. We have a French doors here, as you can see, and they go out to the patio, and we have a beautiful view from here. So this is our terrace. And so basically I have been working to paint all these French doors. So we have 3 of them, which I finished. And I started this project before we went to the United States last year. So when we came back, it was kind of half done. And let me turn on the light. Maybe it would help to see everything, not sure. So anyway, this was kind of half-done project, and I still had ladders and everything. So I really was kind of like, I need to finish this, and then I, would run to the garden, get started there, and I really don't like leaving projects unfinished. So I was like, I need to focus on getting it done. So this door here was the biggest of my work, which I've been working on probably the last month because I didn't have time to really focus on it. So this French door were kind of, it was just wood. It was basically like that. It was kind of like this. And so I decided that I wanted to go ahead and paint white because originally when the previous owners decorated this house, it was more into the gold and green tones, and you can also see here it's still kind of a gold color left from the previous when originally the previous owners got the house decorated, which I intend to change this color hopefully, and I'm going to paint this as well, and the baseboards also to be white. And so obviously I'm not going to touch any of this beautiful work on the ceiling, but I'm going to show you how beautiful all this work is on the ceiling. So, and I'm really excited this year because last 2 years, as many of you guys know, I've been in the States helping my mom. So we spent Christmas together up in Colorado. But this year, finally, I'm going to be home. I'm really excited. It's been 2 years since, oops, I think it's the door. It's been 2 years since I have been really took out any of the my Christmas decorations. So I'm really excited to just stay home and decorate for Christmas and maybe have friends over and do Christmas dinner and things like that. So I really am motivated to get this room finished to be ready for Christmas. So anyway, and this furniture was also we purchased from our previous owners, but again the fabric was kind of in a gold and green tones. We went ahead and found someone here locally who did such a beautiful job of replacing the fabric on this furniture. But you can see it's a really beautiful furniture, and honestly it just almost feels like brand new. It was very, very well made furniture. So I went with the blue tones, and then we replaced the wallpaper. So we did some work, but now I'm kind of in a point where I'm trying to get the doors all painted, and the paint wasn't bad at all. It was just a little old, you know. Obviously this house has been done in 70s, and so it was kind of, you know, tired, and it kind of needed a little refreshing, and that's all. But that's what I've been working on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tour, but let's go ahead and go outside now and get to the garden part of this video. So change to my garden boots. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to show you in the garden today that it's new. First, I just received a really beautiful birthday gift that I wanted to share with you from my family, my parents. Then I just wanted to show you my new plant that I planted. Then we'll continue. Let's go right this way. So garden is doing really good for most part. I think that this fungus issue is still going on, but it's kind of doing its own course, hopefully. It's not as bad as it was because we had a nice sunny days, but good sunny week actually. And so we'll get to that here in a second. Oh, and I'm so glad that this plant is open. The hibiscus is open today. I wanted to show you I talked about this plant. It's called a blue brulee. So it's blooming at the moment, and I wanted to show you because this is kind of a unique one. I think this must be a new crossing that they're trying to come up with the blue color. I don't think it's quite as blue yet, but they're getting there, as you can tell. But it has kind of become nice and you know, kind of a unique color to it. So I actually like it. I have two of this in my garden. This is the first time it bloomed, and I really wasn't sure I like it or not, but now I'm looking at it and I think I really, really like it. So it's going to be really pretty. Again, it's a hardy hibiscus called blue brulee. And wanted to talk about this guy a little bit. This is also a hardy hibiscus. It's called cherry cheesecake. I absolutely adore this one. I had them in Colorado as well. They're super hardy. I had them in a zone 5 and they were very reliable for me. They do die out in the winter time and then they come back in the spring. I purchased two when I found them here in France. I was so excited. One did really well, and it's actually getting ready to start opening, has lots of buds on it. This one, it disappeared, and honestly I just thought, okay, you know, I lost it probably because the first year I cut it down in the fall, and it's better to leave it until the springtime to cut it. So I think it helps to the root process to come, you know, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it just helps the root process to come back better the next year. And so I decided, maybe because I trimmed it in the fall, you know, that caused the plant not to come back the following spring. But actually, so it's been about 3 seasons maybe that I didn't have it, and I thought, okay, you know, it's died, obviously. So then this year I had a so I had a really big salvia there that I really didn't like as much, honestly, because it really wasn't doing much for me. It was just getting to be a really big bush. It wasn't blooming much, but it was taking over everything. I mean, it was just suffocating my Ethiopian there, and so I decided, I trimmed it down, and then eventually I was like, I need to just get it out from this bed, just because I think it was just too big for its spot. So I removed that. And I planted this Hydrangea here, and it's doing really, really good. But all the plants thanked me so much to remove that, because all the plants I felt like just started breathing. And when I removed that salvia, I noticed that this cherry cheesecake hibiscus was kind of still sticking out from the ground. And I was like, all right, well, it's been, it's probably died. It hasn't been coming back in about a couple of years. So I decided to dig it out and remove it so I can plant my hydrangea. And when I dug, I noticed that the roots seem like still alive. And so I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know if this is alive, because it hasn't come back for a few years. But I was like, let me just stick them in the ground and see if it will come back. I did, and just only about a few days ago, I noticed that it's having a new shoots. Check this out. This is amazing. I was so excited that I didn't throw this away. So it's actually alive. So the roots were alive, even though it didn't come back at all for 3 days. I think it's just maybe didn't have enough light. And so it's doing really good. I'm so excited. So of course, this is not its spot. I'm going to move this in somewhere else because it's going to get bigger. But I am really excited that it's actually alive and I was able to save this. So sometimes when you think your plant has died, always check again. Sometimes we think it's died, but it actually hasn't. So just wanted to bring that out. I was very excited to see it's coming back. So then I wanted to show you my gift that I received for my birthday, which we have to go through this big pile of mess. This is my new project. Everybody know that I've been working on it, and obviously I haven't gotten to it lately, but it will get there, I promise. So so this is my new statue, and I wanted to show you this beautiful statue. I'm so excited. I can't absolutely wait for this to go into my garden bed. I have and I'll show you here in a minute. When we moved to this house, there was an old fountain right where my formal garden is, kind of in the middle there, randomly, and the top was it was very old, and the top was just completely crumbled. The whole entire concrete was just coming loose. So my parents were here, and we decided to have that top removed, which we did. But the pedestal looked really, really beautiful, and so I preserved the pedestal, and I'll show you. Many of you guys probably have seen the pedestal in my garden, and you probably thought, okay, why she's not putting anything on it. But the reason that I haven't is because I've been trying to save up to get something to go on this pedestal. And so anyway, so this is where it's going to go, and hopefully George will help me soon to get that figured out and get that statue here. But I think it's going to be really, really pretty, and this is, the pedestal is quite massive, so I think it will really hold the statue well. So that's my new excitement for a wonderful gift from my parents, which I'm very, very thankful for. So, and then my next thing that I wanted to show you is new hydrangea that I planted. Oh, I haven't even removed this yet. Let me put this aside. I just went ahead and planted it here because this is where I kind of like it to be. But this is called bombshell hydrangea, and you can see there's just trying to start picking itself up. Look at how massive this guy is going to be massive. And I think when I was reading about this hydrangea, it said that they actually could mature height can be like 8 meters tall. But I think if I need to, I can always trim it back. This these are paniculata variety, so I can actually trim them in the springtime too, because they are going to bloom on a new wood. But they get about 1.5 meters wide, which I think this is going to be good, because this area, because 1.5 meters, you know, you have to measure it from the center of the plant, half one side and then the other half on the other side, so how to know how big it's going to actually be. So I think this is going to be a good spot, and since it's a paniculata, it'll be easy to trim. So if I need to trim it for the space, I can always do that. But the flowers, I think they're going to be gorgeous, because they're huge and they're massive. And in fact, they were saying that in the fall they kind of get a little bit of a kind of into pinkish tones as well. So I am super excited, and I really didn't want it to wait until to do the video, because we were supposed to get really hot weather last week, which we did, and I wanted to make sure it doesn't get scorched in a sitting in its own pot. So it really needed to go into the ground, and it's acclimating basically. Hopefully it'll pick itself up soon, and this is going to have a really strong stems, and it will really stand out. So this is called Bombshell. It's a new variety, I think. I haven't heard of it, but we had them at the garden center, and I thought this would be a really nice spot for it. So then let's go on the other side, and I'll show you what I'm doing today. And this garden is looking really good, you guys. Look at how beautiful all these dahlias are. I planted them this early spring, and this one in particular, I think this is my new favorite ones, and I think this one I absolutely adore. I love the height, and I think I really love the shorter ones with the large blooms, because they don't need as much staking and they just hold themselves up really well. This one was supposed to be the same. Like I bought 3 of the same variety, so you can see the 2 are the same, but this one apparently was not going to be the same, because this is going to be super large variety. I wonder if this is a dinner plate. I'm not exactly sure, but can't wait to see the blooms, because it's about to open here. But I did say stake it just to make sure it stays intact. And the roses are doing really good. These are those little Bakar, I think the name was, the really kind of a dark red color. So they are doing really good. I'm really excited about these. And so yeah, overall everything is doing pretty good. I'm still kind of trying to get through this fungus issue that I had, which, you know, takes time to get through the cycle. And this one dahlia is actually really, really beautiful as well. It has a beautiful yellow in the centers, kind of, or the edges of the petals, and they're huge. Absolutely love this one as well. So I really love these large ones. I'm starting to get super addicted to the dahlias, I have to say. I'm going to plant much more next year. This year I was a little late when I got here, arrived to France, but next year I think I'll plant more. So you guys, you have seen my containers obviously, but you've probably been wondering why I haven't planted anything in here, because when I arrived in the spring, I really wanting to plant this particular plant for the summer, and I purchased one about 2 years ago. I know they're kind of they're not cold hardy in my zone, so I was looking, but I didn't really find them, and I didn't bring my glasses. But anyway, the name is Tibouchina, if I'm saying it correctly. It's a groovy baby. So this guy actually gets probably about, I think it said, 2 to 3 meters high. I'm hoping that I can maybe trim them. So they have a different varieties of Tibouchinas. I hope I'm saying it correctly. If not, please correct me if I'm not saying it right. There are ones that has like a bigger leaves, and they're taller with kind of a longer stems, and they are not cold tolerant at all. And then they had this other variety, which, you know, that's the variety that I wanted originally to get. But then I went to get them, which they brought it in a garden center late this summer, and then I saw that they had another variety of that. It's more compact, and apparently it's going to be more bushy. But I started reading about this variety, and what it said is that this is actually hardy for zone 8, and I'm thinking I am around zone 8. It might be zone 8B. I'm not sure. It's hard to detect because this is France, and in mostly USDA zones it's kind of determined for the US. So even though it's warmer climate here in Mediterranean, but still we do have freezes at night, and also the like moisture in the air can be different. So anyway, I'm not exactly sure. I'm still trying to determine all of it, but I think I am at least zone 8 for sure. So I think this probably will do well. I am not sure if I go ahead and keep them in the containers for the winter. I'm worried that it might be too risky. I might dig them out in the winter time and take it inside and then bring them back out in the summertime or May to plant them in the containers. They're just so beautiful. I really want to keep them going, but we'll see. I might just buy another one and pop them in the landscape and kind of leave them to see if it will come back the following spring. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm debating because I want to experiment with this plant and see if they are really cold hardy or not. So anyway, but I have one bloom, I think on one, it was blooming today. Didn't I thought there was one bloom on there. Maybe it dropped. Oh, maybe it dropped. I'm bummed. But anyway, the blooms are absolutely stunning, you guys. Look at that. Look at this. It's like a super purple, dark purple color, and it just blooms constantly. Like I said, I had one about 2 years ago that I planted in the landscape, assuming that it's cold hardy and it's a perennial for my zone, but it wasn't. It didn't come back the following spring, and ever since I wanted to plant. But it is mid-August, but I decided, why not? I still have probably until November, and they will probably go well until about November. Then I can take them inside for the winter. So I'm going to plant these guys in my container, and I'm not planting anything else in this container, just this ones, because honestly this is going to fill in probably this entire thing anyway, and it's the end of the season. I don't want to really invest in a lot of things to plant in this container, so I'm just going to pop these guys in and let them fill in and bloom, and I can enjoy that until the end of the season, and then I'll take it out. So let's go ahead and get this going. Okay, so the soil probably will settle in. I'll just bring some fertilizer to mix in, but I might need to add a bit more soil. We'll see if it really settles, if the soil settles and needs a little extra. I'll just give it a little extra. But also I wanted to mention that these plants love sun, so which is really good. This is a really sunny spot, and I think they will really do well in these containers. Sometimes it's hard to find good the annuals that really like sun. Even the petunias, after it gets really hot, they kind of a little hard to work. I don't know, for me it's a little difficult to work with petunias. I hope you guys do better than me, but I'm not exactly sure how to keep them looking really good when it's really hot. So if you guys have tips on that, please let me know. So let's go this way now, and then we'll just go plant. Oh, I wanted to point out really quick this hydrangea that I'm going to plant, which I'll show you. I planted another one right here. Just wanted to show you this really quick. This is a new variety, which they had two, and I actually purchased both, and I really like it. Look how beautiful this is. This is called Prime Red. I think this is a probably new variety as well. They made of, they propagated, I think, after Limelight, what I was reading. It's a little smaller version of Limelight, what they said, although to me, I don't know if you guys maybe can tell, but the flower doesn't look to me like a Limelight. I had a limelight hydrangea in the US, and it was kind of a little more look like a bombshell versus to these blooms. But look how big the petals are. I don't know, but sometimes, you know, when they mature they change, so I don't know if it will change or not. But I know that what I was reading is they are stronger variety and more improved variety of limelight hydrangea, and they have really strong stems. They get about meter 20. They're not really big, what I was reading about the height. So I think this is going to be really nice for this area. And also they turn kind of blush, a little more blush pink in the fall, which is always nice to have that, you know, color change of color. So anyway, but I really like this. I was actually originally thinking maybe I should plant red rose here, because I'm kind of thinking this is going to be kind of a red garden to me. Although I have some peach colors as well, the roses, but I do have reds, and I thought, oh, it would be nice to bring one here. But you know, this has worked out a bit better for me, I think, because it will fill in this area beautifully. So I'm going to plant another one of those down closer to the house, and let's just go this way. Oop. Roses are starting to recover. You can see all the new growth is coming out. I still have quite a few black spots, but overall you can see it's starting to kind of come up well. Hopefully it will stay healthy and not get more, and hopefully the black spots will not continue to spread. I am treating them. Hopefully they'll be okay, but they look much better than they were after there's so much rain. So like this one is looking much better already. You can see it's looking much healthier already. So hopefully it's starting to improve and do well slowly. And my and the begonia, you guys, I lost that. It's kind of bugging me to leave this empty. But I'm not really rushing to plant anything there yet, because I don't know. I'm hoping that it will still come back. Sometimes begonias, you know, the top completely collapsed, and the stems, I think, had fungicide on them, and they got so weak, and basically just the whole thing collapsed. So as you can see, this one is looking good and healthy. All the other begonias are looking super good, and like I have another ones here that are looking very good. It's just that particular one that had issue, and so anyway, I removed that. There was no way I could have had them recover, but I'm hoping to just let it be and see if there is more shoots will be coming out, and maybe it will grow healthy. So if it does, eventually I'll probably take them inside, because begonias do really well in, you know, you can keep them inside and then take them out I would like to take it out in the springtime, and so we'll see what it does first before I decide to just remove it and get rid of it. So anyway, here I have a little area here, and this area gets kind of a morning sun. Sun is kind of filtered, as you can see here, because of this albizia tree. But it gets plenty of sun, and I figured if I needed more sun, I can always trim this and allow a little more sun in. But I figured I want to plant more of those hydrangeas here, the prime red. It's a hydrangea paniculata again. It's exactly the same as the one that I planted on the other side. So it's not supposed to get very big. As with the paniculatas, I can always trim it. I think it will look really nice to fill in this area. I have peonies around it, and irises I can also trim. I think I can also trim the irises if I need to, but this paniculata would really fill in this area. I think they bloom from July all the way to now. The blooms stay long, and it's so beautiful. I think it's going to be really pretty coming out of the house or looking out the French doors. And also I thought it would be nice here because I have lots of hydrangeas coming from the other side, and I think it would be kind of nice to have this kind of flow into this part of the garden as well. So kind of will have a nice flow here. And but also will like the sun because I get lots of sun through here as well. So all right, we'll just go ahead and plant this guy. So I dug, I'm finished. So I think, and always, I have to always remember to set my plant to make sure how it looks, because sometimes I rush through, especially when I'm filming. It's a little harder because I'm so focused on a video, and then I go back and fix my like the location of my plant because it seemed like it's not where I really need to be. So I'm always trying to be better at looking first to make sure that it looks good and then plant it. So here you go. I think this is good. Okay guys, so there is my hydrangea. Really excited. I can't wait for this to get big and shoot out all these beautiful blooms. So I think it's going to be really nice here. And let me just show you really quick. This one was in that we planted last time. It's looking really, really good, and you can see it was suffering when I planted. It was kind of suffering, but you can see all the new growth is coming out. Loves this area. I thought it might be too hot for it, but it's not. I mean, it's doing really good. I think it's going to be gorgeous here, and the other ones are doing really well as well. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful week, and I will meet you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like my videos. Bye bye.